My sister Ilara died on a Tuesday. Rain slicing down like knives, a phone call at 3 a.m., and then silence. The kind that eats you from the inside. I stopped painting, stopped living. Just existed in my dusty attic studio, surrounded by half-finished portraits of her smile. Then I saw the Craigslist ad. Antique mirror, 19th century. Heavy. Haunted? You decide. $20 or best offer. Stupid, right? But grief makes you desperate for connection. Even with things. The seller lived an hour north. A crumbling farmhouse with porch swings rotting off chains. He wouldn't look me in the eye. Just pointed a grease-stained finger toward the barn. It's in there. Don't say I didn't warn you. The mirror was taller than me, framed in black oak carved with twisting vines. And faces, hidden in the leaves, mouths open in silent screams. It was heavy, not wood heavy, like it was filled with wet stones. I shoved it into my pickup. As I drove away, thunder cracked. In the rearview mirror, the seller crossed himself. I propped the mirror in my attic studio. Dust danced in the weak afternoon light. I'll call you, Agatha, I whispered. My great-aunt's name. She'd owned weird things too. 3 days passed, just me, my grief, and Agatha's dark glass. Then, on the 4th morning, I saw it. A smudge, right where my reflection's shoulder should be. I wiped the glass. The smudge stayed, dark, shifting, like oil on water. My cat, Whiskey, a battle-scarred tabby who fears nothing, froze. His back arched, fur spiking like a porcupine. A low guttural hiss tore from his throat, aimed straight at Agatha. That's when the humming started. Not in the room, in my bones. A deep, dissonant chord vibrating my teeth. I should have covered it then, smashed it, done anything. But I didn't. Agatha started showing me alternatives. I'd look in the glass, exhausted, hair a mess, eyes hollow from crying. But my reflection, she glowed. She'd be painting vibrant sunflowers, laughing at some unheard joke, holding a steaming mug of coffee. A week in, she showed me Alara. Not the broken body in the hospital. Not the ghost haunting my dreams. My sister, vibrant, alive, tossing her dark hair over her shoulder, that wicked grin on her face. In the reflection, she hugged me. I could almost feel it, almost smell her cherry blossom shampoo. Tears streamed down my real face. Please, I choked out, touching the cold glass. Show me again. Agatha obliged, but this time Ilara's reflection turned. Looked straight through the mirror, straight at me. Her smile vanished. Her eyes widened in pure terror. She mouthed a single word. Run! Then the handprint appeared, not on the surface, inside the glass, pressed against the silver backing, large, masculine, fingers too long, like it was trapped behind the reflection, trying to push out. I tore their attic apart. Aunt Agatha died alone, paranoid. They called it dementia. I found her old steamer trunk shoved behind insulation. Inside, a diary, leather-bound, reeking of camphor and decay. The first entry chilled me. Father brought the mirror from Prague. He called it the guest. Said it showed him Mother, years after she died. It lies. It shows you paradise to make you hungry. Then it feeds. Pages detailed Agatha's descent. The guest showed her William, her fiancé lost at sea. Smiling, holding out a wedding ring. I touched the glass, she wrote. Big mistake. Cold shot up my arm. Now, William's reflection changes. Sometimes he's drowned, bloated. Sometimes he looks hungry, like the guest looks at me. The final entry, shaky, ink blotted like tears. It wants a soul. A trade. William is gone. Truly gone. Fed to it. Now it wants my face, my memories, my life. It's scratching at the glass every night. I hear it breathe in the dark. Covering it does nothing. Breaking it would free it. God help me. Blood is the key. Blood is the door. Beneath that, a crude sketch. A hand pressed flat against the mirror. Dark liquid smeared between fingers. The attic changed after I read the diary. Cold clung to Agatha like frost. My breath plumed in the air near it. Whiskey refused to enter the room. Food rotted within hours if left nearby. A bouquet of roses I'd placed, wilted to black slime overnight, reeking of sulphur. The physical touches started. A cold spot brushing my neck while I read. A weight depressing the mattress beside me at 3 a.m. The feeling of being watched became constant, crushing. Then, the shattering. A wine glass slipped from my hand near the mirror. As it smashed, the reflection of the glass on Agatha's surface remained perfectly intact. And within it, my reflection wasn't startled. It smiled. A cruel, satisfied twist of lips. That night, I woke to the sound of scratching. Not at the door, not at the window. On the inside of the mirror, long, slow scrapes. Like fingernails on glass. I shone my phone light. The handprint was gone. In its place, something worse. A face, pressed against the silver backing, distorted, stretched. Eyes black voids, mouth open in a silent, endless scream. It wasn't human. It was hunger given form. The guest, Agatha's final words screamed in my head. Blood is the key. Blood is the door. The guest was escaping, feeding on my grief, my memories of Alara. Soon it wouldn't need the mirror. It would wear my face, live my life, erase me. I remembered the sketch, the hand pressed to the glass. This wasn't just Agatha's curse. It was my family's, passed down. And it chose me when my grief made me weak. Rage burned through the fear, white hot, purifying. This thing took Alara's memory, twisted it, used it as bait. No more. I grabbed my palette knife, sharp, pointed steel, took a breath, walked towards Agatha. The face inside writhed, anticipating. You want blood? I whispered, my voice raw. You want a soul? I slammed my palm flat against the freezing glass. The face behind it lunged, mouth unhinging impossibly wide. Take her back! I screamed. Not at the guest. At Alara. I dragged the knife across my palm, deep, crimson welled, hot and slick, spreading under my hand, smearing the glass. The mirror didn't just hum, it screamed. A high-pitched metallic shriek that vibrated the floorboards. The glass under my hand turned furnace hot, then icy, then hot again. The face contorted in agony. Not hunger anymore, fear. The blood sank in, not dripping down. Absorbed into the mirror like water into parched earth. Dark tendrils spread through the glass behind my reflection, like ink in water. The attic lights blew out. Only the emergency exit sign cast a sickly red glow. In the dimness, my reflection changed. Not the happy lie. Not the terrified Alara. Me. Truly me. Exhausted. Terrified. Bleeding. But my eyes, they burned with fury. With defiance. Behind me, in the reflection's attic, a shadow darker than night writhed, trapped, tangled in the ink-black vines spreading from where my blood touched the glass. The screaming stopped. The cold vanished. The only sound was my ragged breathing, and the drip, drip, drip of my blood hitting the floorboards. I peeled my hand off the glass. A perfect, sticky red handprint remained. Already looking old, stained into the silver, Agatha's surface was silent, dark. Just a mirror again. For now, the handprint is still there, faded brown, like old rust. Whiskey sleeps on my bed again. The cold's gone. But sometimes, late at night, I hear it. A faint hum, deep in the walls. And in my dreams, Ilara doesn't tell me to run anymore. She just holds my wounded hand and stares at the mirror behind me, waiting.